Hey, what's up? It's your boy, Jeff Relaford, and I thank you for joining me on the Jeff Relaford Show. Because listen, you could have been doing anything else today, right? But you chose on your way home from work, or if you just at home chilling, to tune in to the Jeff Relaford Show. Now, real quick, I want to say this to you. Go ahead, tell your friends and family to download the online radio box app to your Android or your Apple device. So that way you can go ahead and listen to us on the go. And what you do is from there, you type in Biggs Radio Chicago. Okay? Biggs Radio Chicago. And also listen to our sister stations in Indianapolis, Indiana, Pasadena, California, Atlanta, Georgia. And once again, you are kicking it with Jeff Relaford on the Jeff Relaford Show on Biggs Radio Chicago, the voice of a new generation. Let's go. Hey, what's up, y'all? It's your boy, Life Coach Jeff, coming to you on another episode of the Jeff Relaford Show. Hey, I got one question for y'all, man. How was y'all Mother's Day? Coming out the gate with it. How was your Mother's Day? Because I'm going to tell y'all something. I have to work, or had to work on that day. And yeah, I didn't get to quite do the things that I would want to do with my mother on this day. But what we're going to do is we're going to supplement some things. You know, we have days coming and days ahead. So I feel that it is very fitting for this episode for me to discuss a phrase that my mother would always say. She always says, a mother's love. So that is what I would really like to talk about on the day and really focus on. But y'all know how it go, man. We are here. So guess what? What I'm going to do is I have to focus on a couple things. So let's hit it right now. So y'all remember where we at, people. It's Monday. So guess what? We have the Biggs Radio Monday Night Motivation lineup. It starts off with me, your boy, Jeff Relaford, from 5 to 6 p.m. And then we got Mixtape Monday with Julian St. Chris from 6 to 8 p.m. And we got Dinah Lynn Biggs from 8 to 10, people. Come on. I like I always say, I normally say, what do? We have you from the moment you get off work until you get ready to lay your head. Once again, she not going to tuck you in. Al Greer's going to touch you in with bedtime stories. As for your late night people, y'all can go ahead and catch him on Biggs Radio also, and also on WOSD Radio. Oh, man. But once again, yes, this is our Biggs Radio Monday Night Motivation lineup. Go ahead and catch us on Biggs Radio Chicago, in Biggs Radio Indianapolis and Chicago. And also, people, as I said in the intro, check out our sister stations in Pasadena, California, Atlanta, Georgia, Indianapolis, Indiana, and we rounded right back up here to Chicago. So y'all check us out for that Monday Night Motivation. And also, if you have any breaking music that you want to put out on any of our stations with our DJs, y'all go ahead, give us a call at 773-462-4447. Once again, that number is 773-462-4447. Or you can email us at biggsradio@gmail.com. And guess what, y'all? For all the needs that y'all need to know about Biggs Radio, go to biggsradio.com. Come on, man. Like I said, this is Biggs Radio Chicago, a voice of a new generation. But if you want to get the whole plethora of all of our stations, go on biggsradio.com. And I'm going to blast this up here too. Big shout out to the team. These are all our names of the people who are part of our Biggs Radio team. We have our executive producers and program director, general manager on there as well. And all of us as personalities. So if you have an interest of where you would like to be placed, or if you would like to have an ad, once again, just give us a call at that number I stated earlier. It's also at the bottom of this flyer, 773-462-4447, or email us at biggsradio@gmail.com. So, and also, just so y'all know, for my people that's visually watching and visually sound right now, boom, we are here at the Vibe Studios, baby. We are right here at, I believe it's 2075 Rush Place in Lake Station, Indiana, here at the Vibe Studios, where we produce podcasts and radio shows. So we got Mr. VNO, Ron Reed himself, Redirect, Regroup, Refocus, which is me, who is Smooch Wallace. If you don't know him, get to know him. And we also have Mary Selena K of Rock Truth Radio in the building. So, yeah, I've given all my shout outs I need to give out. I've given a good intro. And yeah, Hey man, how was everybody's Mother's Day? That's what I want to know. Because the topic of conversation today is a mother's love. So that's really what I want to hit it with. That's really what I want to discuss and or talk about. A mother's love, yo. A mother's love. What does it look like to you? What does it look like? How does it feel, to receive a mother's love? When I went ahead and I did the show with Mary, we do Rock Truth Radio on Sundays on WOSD Radio as well. Well, I co-host that show for Mary, or with Mary rather, and it was a lot of different points we talked about as far as just the presence of a woman. Whether it is in the household or the influence that she has, and it was a great discussion. And I thought it would be very fitting of today's show to just talk about how that mother's love is. There's no right or wrong way to view it. I guess there's a right and wrong way for everything, but in particular, just sharing those thoughts and those emotions, that's what I want to do today. So I'm gonna tell y'all something, man. You go through life and things don't always go the way you don't want to, but I feel that God does things for a reason. So I say this when I'm talking about a mother's love. I relate it closely to my experience that I have with my mother. I love my mother to death. I love her to death. I always wish the best for her. But we had a clashing growing up. It was a clashing, meeting of the minds. Sometimes we couldn't see eye to eye, but I see how God took something and I learned so much from it. And if it really wasn't for my mother being who she is, just being, not trying to say she did something right, she did something wrong, but just being, I feel as children, we should learn how to navigate around your parents being. So shout out to moms. Shout out to moms. I love you. And honestly, you helped me be the person that I am today. You really have. You really have. So I really want to throw that out there. Give you the credit where credit is due. And also big ups to my wife also. Uh, she's having a good or had a good Mother's Day. She had a good Mother's Day. She went up there to be with her cousins and everything. They hung out, chill out on that Saturday night, and it rolled over into Sunday. Because also to my wife, because we have a child. We had a child. As I said on Sunday on Rock Truth Radio, once a child, once a mother, always a mother. Not you. It still can go once a child, always a child, because in your parents' eyes, you still gonna be the baby, right? You still gonna be the one that they need to kind of help along, push, and do some things for. But yeah, y'all, we lost our baby a couple years ago, and once a mother, always a mother, and my heart goes out to those who have lost children, had a stillborn, or just lost a child in some way or capacity. You did your job. I want to let you know you did your job, you did your piece, and you can be happy with that. You can be okay with that. So big ups to all the moms out there who ended up losing a child, but also knowing that there's redemption in that as well. You can always go ahead and have something else to gain from it. Learn something from the lesson. As Mary says, she says, you could take the L. It's not a loss, it's a lesson. And I'm a big believer in that too. You don't ever have to take a loss. You take it as a lesson. So yes, a mother's love, people. A mother's love. Um, I feel that a mom's love has a way of showing up different. Because as people, let's be honest and real people, we are different. So I always felt that mothers show compassion to their children. They show love. They express that in a way of concern. My mother does it with me. She says she doesn't have to worry about us. She said if she doesn't hear from us, she assumes everything is fine. And honestly, I'm not even gonna hold you. The type of relationship that I have with my mother, I'm fast paced. I do a lot of stuff, yo. I do so much stuff, and with it, I'm glad that my mother understands that I'm not always as accessible as I can be. I believe she knows that and she understands that. Uh, and that's what we have. And I call my mom like she's on my mind today. I'm gonna go ahead and give her a call today after the show, see how she's doing and such. But definitely, you have to know how your mother's love pertains and plays a role in your life. You gotta know it, yo, because honestly, some people believe that tough love isn't good. I believe tough love is fine. You just have to once again be able to find the lesson into that. When we start talking about biblical principles and relating something to it, once again, people, I'll tell you, I believe in God. That's me. Life coach Jeff Relaford believes in God. So those are the references that you're going to hear me make, but we're also going to relate it to life as well. Some may think it's too simplified, but hey, it is what it is, man. We got to bring people all together. So let's bring them on one accord and let's be relatable to each other. But with that being said, once again, a mother's love, there's a mother just exemplifies that in a way of correction. And I feel that God has put in a mother love and correction, love and correction. And that's what the Father does for us. That's what God does for us. It shows us love and correction. And I feel that that's a great thing, people. I honestly feel that that is a great thing. It is a humbling thing. It makes sense because let's throw this out there. A father gives stern correction. God gives us stern correction, but that love is shown through that stern correction because you have to remember a father would not love his child if he did not have a sense of correction behind what he was showing a child or doing for a child, but also just trying to say, hey, be more disciplined. Being more disciplined is not a bad thing. God also wants us to be disciplined as well. There are traits along the board that God exemplifies and he has put in man and woman to do certain things. But women come with the softer side. A mother's love is a more of a compassionate, softer side and understanding for her children, because God also has that with us as well. And I just feel that, oh my gosh, yo, yes, a mother's love is something. Once again, big ups to mom for that phrase, a mother's love. I know there are probably other mothers that say that too. But once again, big ups to my mom for using that phrase because it gives you something to think about. It really puts a strong perspective on something for you. And, oftentimes, I feel that even with families, a lot of times I hear it with other families too. Sometimes that negativity can be so strong, but why don't we just take some of that negativity that we have in relationships with our parents? Because some of us do have strained relationships with our mothers. I was talking to a child that I mentor, and I happened to be talking to her about her specific situation. I'm not going to go into detail because that's her situation and she's young. But with her specific situation, she was explaining to me how, she just kind of didn't want to be around her parents, her mom, her dad, all the other stuff. I told her, I said, with your mother, you speaking about her, I said, always keep that line of communication open. I said, always keep it open. Never look at her as if she, you got to cut her off. Don't do that. You shouldn't have to do that. I understand we get ticked off with our parents sometimes. But even with that being said, that is still your mother. Keep a line of communication open. And if you feel you have to muster up something, muster it up. Muster it up. Be nice. Be humble. Be grateful that a parent is still present in your life. Oh, excuse me. Oh, excuse me, everybody. Man, I'm tired, yo. That's why I'm yawning. You might catch a couple more yawns today because your boy is tired, man. Oh my gosh, it's just been a heck of a week, and it's a heck of a start to the week. So we just gonna keep continuing. But hopefully this week I have a little couple things lessened up on me. But anyway, once again, a mother's love, man. There's nothing. I feel nothing can replace that. A mother's love is something that cannot be replaced. A dad can love you, but that love is expressed differently. So with a mother, man, that lovingness, that caringness, that attentiveness that only a mother can give you has to be owned by her. And we also talked about how, sometimes things get out of hand, and in society, we tend to lose a lot of those biblical principles and references to how God would end up treating his children. A lot of times I can only speak for my community. Sometimes you hear a certain way that a parent talks to their child, and sometimes we have to not mix or confuse uh, discipline with anger, okay, and chastisement with anger as well. With chastisement comes correction, okay, not anger. I feel that even with fathers too, but I'm talking about a mother's love, with that mother. Sometimes what might have to happen, if you're not that mother and that's not you, we ain't talking about you. But I know we have all seen examples of how a mother can get very angry, a little upset, and it shows a different side of her. You know, I get it. We are human. Things happen, But let's try to tap into that a little bit more. That really goes. That message is really for all the young mothers out there, for the young ones out there. I get it. You're having kids young. You might have a baby when you're like, even as young as 16, 17, 18. Hey, I get it. My mom had us pregnant with us at 16, had us at 17. So I understand. And to let y'all know, there's no book that comes with the right or wrong way to parent. But one thing that a mother can do to show good parenting is to leave a lesson, but leave a lesson with love behind it and concern and compassion. So that way your child understands that that's where it's coming from. And if they're defiant, just let them be defiant. Because I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna tell you this. And what I mean by I don't mean let them be defiant as let them walk over you. No, that's not the perspective that I'm coming from. The perspective that I'm coming from is more of one that of which is taught by lesson, taught by example. Okay. If you have done everything that you can to teach your child, if you've done everything to show them that, hey, you don't have to either go down this way or there's another perspective. Oh, excuse me. Oh, that sleep is on me, y'all. But if you've done everything that you can to show that correction and show that love that comes behind with that correction, you're doing a great job. Once again, take a look at those traits from God. God has also done that for us. It's times when we didn't listen, we didn't pay attention, but that love still had to be shown. Uh, for lack of a better term, we call that grace, right? We would call that grace. And how God shows us grace. A mother has a very unique capability of showing that grace with a more softer side. And I feel that that's great. That's great. Um, that also shows a hint of the femininity that it comes along with that. We talk so much about a lot of these wars going on between men and women and feminine energy and masculine energy, the whole nine. Uh, truth be told, we both sides, men and women, carry masculine and feminine traits. Okay. So, to say the least, you will have times where you might be more in some quote unquote masculine energy or quote unquote feminine energy. But what is natural um, to men and women is men tend to be a little more stern, tough, fine tuned on certain points. Not to say that a woman is not fine tuned on certain points, but a man is fine tuning with a certain type of direction and leadership. Okay. And a woman is laying a foundation for morality, for some strictness. Because guess what? A mother, just to tell you the dynamic, a mother can lay down law and say, we're not going to do this, we're going to do it that way with her children and explain it to her kids. Explain it to her kids. But what happens is a father can come in and have the last word and give it the stamp of approval to make it stick. But who laid that foundation? Who has the potential? Who is in that more of that position to lay down that foundation? It's the mother. And we have to keep it in perspective like this. The mother does have a lot of child, not a lot of child. She has a lot of time with the children. So with her having a lot of time with the children, what that allows her to do is that does allow her to instill a few more life lessons and moments. Oh, Oh my gosh, y'all. I'm telling you that sleep demon is on me. It is on me. That is number 3 that I have yawned today, y'all. That is number 3. You might get 4, 5, and 6. I don't know. But like I said, this week should be a day of rest for your boy. But once again, to reiterate, man, I'm telling you that mother's love can't nothing beat it. Can't nothing beat it. Haven't you ever wondered, or haven't you ever thought about the fact that you could be having a bad day, but you know what? The fact that your mother called you just to check up on you, or the fact that anybody calls to check up on you, but particularly your mother, how does that make you feel? You know, I know it makes me feel good to know that somebody is thinking of me and checking on me always. Wow, that's something you can't take away from anybody, So the fact that your mother does it for you, oh, come on, baby. That speaks great volumes. That speaks great volumes. So always keep that in mind. And always remember, too, people, that no mother is perfect. Come on. No, just like people aren't perfect, I have yet to see or meet a perfect mother. Allow your mother to do the best that she can. Now, listen to what I'm saying. Allow her to do the best that she can do. There are some people out there who, let's say you get hooked on drugs, you get hooked on certain things, or you might snap off at the mouth for something that doesn't even matter. To me, that's not you trying your best. Once you get over that addiction for your child, so you might be able to keep custody or have your child or even visit your child. Once you get over those things, or once you stop the verbal abuse, because there's a lot of verbal abuse, like I stated earlier, when a mother could say something and get angry. Okay, she could say something and get angry. Uh, Sometimes that's not always the best way to go. But on the flip side of that, I also did state that there was no book, right or wrong, to show how to parent a child. But we do have a book that gives us a foundation, a great foundation. And I like to refer to that as the Bible, that gives us a great foundation on how to exemplify and show that love, how to be a friend, and how to parent children. The Bible says to train up a child while they're young, right? Train up a child in the way that they should go. So when they grow old, that they will not depart from it. So that's a foundation, people. And a mother has, once again, the unique ability to give correction and give love behind it. So that way, whether you have a son or a daughter, it is still understood that I'm not coming at you with a level of me being angry at you all the time. I said it was coming, y'all. I said it was coming. Jesus. But it's not always a level of anger that comes behind that. That anger can be an emotion that can fuel the talking. It can fuel a little bit more of that directness that might come from your mother. It can fuel a little bit more of that fire within that hits, and that's okay, because we are all emotional creatures, not just women, not just mothers, but we are all emotional creatures, and we need to learn how to control that part of it. But if something is warranted and is brought on, just know that it's normal. That's something I had to learn as a young man, especially for my young males out there who have mothers in their life actively. Understand and know that your mother is, if she's actively in your life and trying to show you good examples, or trying to keep you around other men too, because if your mother is a single mother, she can't be mother and father. But I hope and pray that she puts you around influences that can help you. And I say that because that's what my mother did for me. My father was not present, you know. I don't think that it wasn't because he didn't want to be present, but there's a whole story behind it. I'll have to tell y'all later on. But what comes along with that is the fact that, a parent is doing it by themselves. So my mother made sure that me and my twin brother had a lot of good influences around us, positive male influences around us. So I know that I still have traits and characteristics from my biological father, but a lot of the different practices and things that I do are based on the men that I've had in my life, and nobody could put those good men around me but my mother. She knows her children, regardless of what I might have thought when I was young. I'm thinking, my mom, you don't really know me like that. But she knows her children. She knew exactly what me and my brother needed, and we needed positive male role models around in order to steer us more off into the right direction. Because I have friends who lived in Gary, Indiana. You know what I mean? Some people still there. And like anything, there's a good and a bad, there's a left and a right, there's an up and a down. You have to make a choice of which direction is the right direction for you. And because you're human, so all of our choices don't always line up with God's choice all the time. We have to remember that. But she put positive male role models in my life so that I can pull from that. And I'm telling you, y'all, if you are a young man and your mother is trying to put you around positive male influences, hold on to that, please. She's doing a great job. That mother has enough sense to know that she can't quite give you everything. She just can't. It's not humanly possible, not physically possible, not even mental as far as the training to show you. Once again, foundations can be laid, but there are only certain foundations that can be laid by a father, and there are certain foundations that can be laid out by a mother. And I feel that the younger generation does lack that. I think we're moving out of the era, and this is strictly my opinion, we're moving out of the era where a lot of parents, younger parents, they're not teaching the child. They're allowing the tablet to do all the work, or they're allowing the gaming software to do all of the work. And it's like, yo, moms, dads, have interaction with your child. Allow your child to learn in that particular way. Let them know that the love that you're trying to exemplify and show them is one that of which that comes from the heart. Anger can come behind it. It can be, because we all have breaking points and we all get fed up. But the main root cause of that is because of what she loves you. That's what it is. That's what love is. We all like to say love is patient, love is kind, all this other stuff. Yes, that's what it says in the word too. So be that. But let's not use the cliche speaks or talks of the world. Let's actually believe that in your heart, because you feel that that's what you can offer and provide. You're just not quoting something or saying it. Believe that if you're a mother, that's what you provide, because that should be what you provide for not just the children, but for the household as well. That love being kind and being genuine and coming from the heart, those types of things. And don't get me wrong, men should do that too. Fathers should do that too. But as I stated earlier, it just comes off we do it in a different way. We tend to do that in a different way. And that's something that really has to be recognized. So real quick, y'all, we are getting to that halfway point of the show. So what I'm going to do is, y'all know how I roll. I go ahead and play the intro for the middle segment. I just like to say it because I think it's, we say we're going to take a break. It's a short break. But I got a couple things to run and a couple things to talk about. So we will be right back, people, on the Jeff Relaford Show on Biggs Radio Chicago, the voice of a new generation. We'll be right back. Hey, what's up? It's your boy, Jeff Relaford, and I thank you for joining me on the Jeff Relaford Show. Because listen, you could have been doing anything else today, right? But you chose on your way home from work, or if you just at home chilling, to tune in to the Jeff Relaford Show. Now, real quick, I want to say this to you. Go ahead, tell your friends and family to download the online radio box app to your Android or your Apple device. So that way you can go ahead and listen to us on the go. And what you do is from there, you type in Biggs Radio Chicago. Okay? Biggs Radio Chicago. And also listen to our sister stations in Indianapolis, Indiana, Pasadena, California, Atlanta, Georgia, and once again, You are kicking it with Jeff Relaford on the Jeff Relaford Show on Biggs Radio Chicago, the voice of a new generation. Let's go. Yo, 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 there it is. It's your boy, Life Coach Jeff, aka Jeff Relaford. Not aka, but that's my name, Jeff Relaford, here on the Jeff Relaford Show on Biggs Radio Chicago, the voice of a new generation. And y'all, today we are talking about a mother's love. That's what we're talking about. But I would be remiss if I did not mention where we're coming out of. And we are up here at the Vibe Studios at 2057 Rush Place, okay, in Lake Station, Indiana, people. And what we do is we produce podcasts and radio shows. So it consists of VNO, Ron Reed, Redirect, Regroup, Refocus, myself, Smooch Wallace. If you don't know who he is, get to know him. And Mary Selena K, or Mary Kennedy of Rock Truth Radio. And y'all, come on, man. This is what we do. We offer production services for y'all so we could get you up and rolling, up and moving, because we understand a lot of people just might be a little nervous, right, on how to really start these things. But this is what we do. This is what we do. So y'all go ahead, hit us up. You can inbox either of us or any of us on our social media platforms. We all have Facebook pages and Instagrams as well. So go ahead and access those in order to get a hold of us. And while we are talking about the mothers, I will be highlighting a Father's Day taping of Shop Talk 7. I'm going to go ahead and run that for y'all real quick. Y'all pay attention. It's a good thing. Y'all join us on Father's Day for this taping. Go ahead, take a look. All right, there we go, everybody. Once again, June 16th is Father's Day. Like I said, I took part in a special taping for a Father's Day episode. And I also will have my own event going on that weekend as well, called A Day in a Man Cave. We will be right up here at the Gene Shepherd Community Center in Highland, Indiana, on Father's Day weekend, on that Saturday, on the 15th. A Day in the Man Cave. I'm going to go ahead and have some panelists. We'll have a food vendor there. We also have Chase Bank coming to speak to the men about finance, because guess what, people? Finance is something that men need to learn how to do. It's just not all up to the women, as I know, because, some of that is old school. But yeah, it's going to be a great event, and yours truly will be headlining it. I will be going ahead, moving the panels of men through, and it's all men's event, people. So men, come out, because we will be talking about our issues. We will be talking about things we go through, and we want to give an honest opinion about it. So y'all come out on June 15th to our Father's Day, kind of like event, A Day in the Man Cave. Y'all can reach out to me for more information. But once again, people, we are here on the Jeff Relaford Show talking about a mother's love. Wow, it's something, man. A mother's love is something. It's a love that can't be unmatched, at least on this human side, closer to what God can do for you, it can't be matched by anything else other than God, So mother's love is heavy. Mother's love is grateful. Have any of y'all ever just had that support? You can get support from a lot of people, but it's something about when your mother supports you with what you do. Haven't y'all felt that before? Haven't y'all felt how it is to really just say, wow, my mom is paying attention to what I'm doing? Just overall. I know for men, that's something. For men, we want to make mama proud. That's what we want to do. And for the girls, they daddy's little girl. They want to make they daddy proud. They want to make sure that all the little things that their father was instilling in them, they get to go ahead and push that back out into the world and be a good person. It's no different with sons and their mothers. Because once again, I know that's how I am. Different things that were taught to me and said to me, I want to make sure that I'm being that right example in the world, um, that I can be, to go ahead and give that, because that's a reflection of how I was raised. That's a whole reflection of how I was raised. And I think we've done a good job. Think we've done a real good job of that. So shouts out to moms, Miss Angela Relaford, because that is my mother. Y'all go ahead, check her out. Y'all don't have to blow up her social media, nothing like that. I'm not going to announce nothing like that, but that's my mama, Angela Relaford. So shouts out to mama. Your son is trying to do some great things out here, trying to make some things happen, because like Nicole said on Sunday, when her and her mother came on WOSD radio, Rock Truth Radio, to say that everybody has a why. Family is a big why for me. I want to make sure my mother and my grandfather are taken care of with certain things. Uh, and that's my why for trying to be very successful in anything that I do. But once again, man, a mother's love is unmatched. It is unmatched. It is a different type of love. It is an unprecedented type of love. And mothers are just very, very, man. The role that mothers have to play, even in the household, it's more than just cooking and cleaning. A lot of times what we've done is, on this side, we've examined a position so harshly, to where men sometimes will reduce a mother's role to just cooking, cleaning, and children. And woman can still work. Woman can still do some things. You never want to take that away from anybody. Everybody got the right to do what they gonna do. But that extra step, that extra role of just being there, for your children, yo, that's what a mom can do. That's what a mother can do for her children. And I believe that's awesome. I believe it's awesome. So, we just got to take it in stride. We got to go ahead and believe that. And you got to make it happen, yo. You got to make it happen. Because I feel that, we live in a world today where maybe parents don't get a lot of recognition. Maybe mothers don't get a lot of recognition. Give your mother some recognition. You don't have to be so successful to say, Mom, thank you. You don't have to be. We always look on TV and we see these things, right? We always look at let's take NBA, NFL drafts, for instance. Mom is always sitting there on the side supporting. When the draft is made, even when a child is trying to figure out they could be number one in the country for a high school sport, and then when they're making decision on where they want to go, that's still, mom is right there. But I want to let y'all know, is even on that lower level, you don't need national status to tell your mother thank you. You don't need fame and fortune to tell your mother thank you. Go ahead, give her a call. Shoot, honestly, you can interrupt the show and go ahead, give your mother a call right now to say, you know what, Jeff Relaford told me, because I'm listening to his show right now, he told me to call you and tell you thank you, because he made me realize that I haven't done it enough. And you might be the one that does it enough. You might talk to your mother every day. Go ahead, still give your mother a call today. Tell her thank you. Because you shouldn't have to reduce one day, such as Mother's Day, to just recognize your mom. Let's get in the habit, even myself included. Let's try to get in the habit of always conducting ourselves in that way, so we can be there to show up and show out for our mothers, because they have done so much for us, and they continue to do so much for their sons and daughters over there. Let me tell y'all, man, when we lost my grandmother, oh, wow, that was something. You talk about a matriarch of the family. You talk about somebody who was always willing to help, always willing to do. That presence of a woman is just something. And she was a grandmother. And also my great grandmother, when we lost her, that was also a big hit to our family as well, to lose two pillars over a course of time. That's a hit. And Miss Yvonne came on Mary's show and was saying how she wants to make sure that the legacy that she leaves is one to show that, God has been in her children's life. And I said, well, mother, well done. You have done quite that. You have done just that for your kids, not just one of them. You've done that for all of your kids. You laid down a foundation and you did it in a way that a mother would do it. Did it in a way that a mother would do it. So hats off to you. Hats off to you, Miss Yvonne Carter Williams, because, ma'am, you are a superwoman in your own right. Keep moving and keep doing what you're doing because you're great at it. And big ups to the other moms that go ahead and that are great at what they do. Keep striving. I understand. I know times can get hard sometimes. I know that things can get a little rough. But when these things get rough, that's actually when we're called to just do something better and to recognize something better. Once again, don't ever take it as a loss. Take it as a lesson. Make sure you pull something out of that so that way you can move forward. You can manifest more of the things that you want in and out of your life so God can give you the increase. He'll always give you the increase internally and sometimes externally. He'll always give you the increase, but just you got to recognize those things. So big ups to the moms again, because y'all are so amazing at what y'all do. Once again, a mother's love, everybody. A mother's love. Oh my gosh. There's nothing like it. And once again, to seek that approval of your mother. Father is one thing. Men live their lives trying to live up to the standard or try to be possibly a shell of what they or a fraction of what their father is to them and what he may represent in your life. Know a lot of men who look up to their dads. I know a lot of women who look up to their mothers. A mother exemplifies a certain type of strength in adversity. Right? For men, it's more of a harder exterior type strength, but for women, it's more of a calculated, divisive. And what I mean by divisive is positively divisive, not negatively divisive, positively divisive, in order to make sure her day is smooth, in order to make sure that she can complete all the things that she has to do for herself and her children. Because I say that because usually where's dad at? Dad is at work. And it's up to mom to go ahead and pick up the kids from school to do everything. Point I'm trying to make is people that moms just have a more interactive plan and method within the child's life. I'm not saying that's for every marriage or couple, but I'm just saying that it's like that. Real life is really like that. So yes, a mother's love. That's why I love this topic. That's why I like stemming on it a little bit better, because those individual things that we need to look at as far as just people, humans in general, that love, that compassion. What better person to go to than your mother? If you want to know about those things, why don't you ask about it? I'm talking about so you have a human face-to-face look at something. You can always go to God. You can ask God about it. But I'm saying if you want a human face-to-face interaction, when was the last time you sat down with your mom, had a conversation, right? The girls that I mentored on Saturdays a couple weeks ago, they actually had to write cards to their mothers because we had hosted a tea party up there. Oh my gosh. And I had to miss it, but because I had a prior engagement, but it was something. I walked in there for a brief moment. Oh, I saw the tears. I heard the stories being exchanged. And I was like, this is what we need with mothers and their young girls. Let me stem on that. I've talked a lot about the male aspect of it, of having a mother, because I'm a male. But that female aspect, oh man, that's something strong too. Y'all, that is something greatly strong and greatly appreciated, because a mother, man, she will go ahead, she will give you that love. And I kind of feel that a mother will sometimes too, maybe in this new day and age, I've seen a lot of them kind of coddle or baby their children. They don't want them to experience stuff, but that's inevitable. Your little girl's going to experience some stuff. Mama, it doesn't matter how much you try to shield from her. It doesn't matter how much you try to take away from her. We in America, baby. And if we in America, your child at the age of 4 is already being exposed to a lot and shown a lot just through the tablet they're watching, the information that they processing in. We just got to do better at filtering and getting those things, stopping them at the head. But it's difference. Strong difference. But all right, y'all, we are sitting up here at that last quarter of the hour. We are going to go ahead and play that one more time to remind you where you at. Once again, you are listening to the Jeff Relaford Show on Biggs Radio Chicago, voice of a new generation, and we will be right back. Hey, what's up? It's your boy, Jeff Relaford, and I thank you for joining me on the Jeff Relaford Show. Because listen, you could have been doing anything else today, right? But you chose on your way home from work, or if you just at home chilling, to tune in to the Jeff Relaford Show. Now, real quick, I want to say this to you. Go ahead, tell your friends and family to download the online Radio Box app to your Android or your Apple device. So that way you can go ahead and listen to us on the go. And what you do is from there, you type in Biggs Radio Chicago. Okay? Biggs Radio Chicago. And also listen to our sister stations in Indianapolis, Indiana, Pasadena, California, Atlanta, Georgia. And once again, you are kicking it with Jeff Relaford on the Jeff Relaford Show on Biggs Radio Chicago, the voice of a new generation. Let's go. Let's get it again, everybody. Once again, you on the Jeff Relaford Show, and we're talking about a mother's love, man. I keep saying it can't be unmatched. I keep saying there's nothing like it. I'm talking about the differences between male and female dynamics when you're having a mother in your life and she's present, that appreciation that she gives you, that gratitude that she shows you for just taking the direction, just listening, or just being the man or woman that you've been called to be in your life. A mother will do that for you. She will show you that love, compassion, that gratitude, those emotions, those different sides of those emotions that come along with being a mother. Fathers are usually tend to be a bit quiet about a couple things, about several things, really. But a mother has a reason to be vocal, has a reason to be a little animated at times. Healthy animation, people, not bad animation, healthy animation. Mothers have a right to do that, and they allowed that space. Let them have that space. Mothers, word of advice, if you're dealing with the stress of the household or the child, take some time for you. You deserve it. You deserve every bit of you that is going to say, today I am taking a day off, because you're allowed to have a day off. The ship not going to sink. Sometimes men and children, we just got to fend for ourselves. And that's a learning experience, because if you don't teach your kids how to cook, clean, do all that stuff, how do you expect for them to keep everything clean? And how do you expect for them to cook if they don't have a leg to stand on, or if they've never even done it before? So allow that day off and teach. But you don't have to teach directly. Teach away a little bit. Teach away so you can rejuvenate yourself. Okay? Teach away so you can rejuvenate yourself. You can come back and you can be better and well suited, more suited to go ahead and give your family what it is that they need. Give your children what it is that they need and deserve. Because you can't lose sight of that. Oh, these women today, man. I love hearing from good women. Good is subjective, because there are a lot of people in different relationships and do different things. And, my wife's good to me. Okay, to somebody else, they might say, man, your wife is bogus. But it ain't for you to say. It ain't for another man to judge you. If it works for you, baby, it works for you. Always remember that. Women, be strong in your faith. Believe what you are going to believe. Say what you are going to say. But say it in a way where you attract the likeness with more honey than the vinegar. You catch more flies with honey than you do vinegar. Meaning, for my younger people who are out there listening, learn to be a little bit more sweeter. Learn to be a little more softer, a little more smoother in your approach. If my young people know what vinegar is, vinegar has a very strong and pungent smell to it for the human, So when you're having your interactions with people, capture more flies with honey, the sweetness, the nectar, than the harshness of vinegar. So that's what I mean. Teachable moments from life coach Jeff, people. I'm trying to let you know I don't know. That might be a book. Teachable Moments from Life Coach Jeff. And speaking of book, real quick, I want to take the time to promote this. Y'all go ahead if y'all have a chance, pick up Redirect. Okay. Shifting of Mindset. This is a book that I have comprised of 20 quotes. Redirect, Shifting of Mindset. It's a book of 20 quotes. It's an interactive workbook and journal, people. And with these 20 quotes, you have once again the spot where you can journal. You have a morning gratitude routine, and you have a weekly check-in that you can do with yourself. So guess what? If you want to take an approach, moms, and you want to have some balance in your life, and you want to take a more interactive, the more directed approach to what it is that you do, go ahead, pick up the book, man. Go ahead, pick up the book. Track how you feel. Deal with some of your emotions. Look at it for what it is. This is also for the fellas too, but for my women out there, for the ladies, go ahead. Y'all take a look at the book. See how it'll benefit y'all. The book can be found on Amazon. You just go ahead and type in Jeff Relaford or type in Redirect, Regroup, Refocus, or my guy Matthew Santana. Shout out to Matthew Santana, who produced the book as well. He's with Santana Global, so check him out as well. But yes, ladies, we love you also. We love you also. We got a few more minutes here, but I'm gonna just go ahead, wrap it up a little bit now. I'm gonna tell y'all this, okay? Women, mothers, do the best that you can to go ahead and raise the children the way that you know how. Make sound decisions, And see, this is advice that any man could take too. So y'all don't look at it like, oh, he telling me what to do. Nah, just go ahead, be human. Make sound decisions. Be sure that you're making the right decision for the safety and the protection of your child. Now, we know a man's role is supposed to be that provider and protector and to be there to block out anything. But sometimes the mother is the first line of defense. Got to remember that. Sometimes the daddy's not always present, right? Mother tends to be there a little bit more than the father does. What I mean is just present. I'm not saying physically there. Sometimes it's a mental thing. Sometimes it's a way and willing them to speak and to teach the child. And that's only because we're wired differently. So just because he ain't saying much don't mean he ain't listening or looking, because he knows his child. You just got to give him a chance to know the child. So women, make sound decisions. Remember, there's no right or wrong way in the parenting book for you to go ahead and parent your child. Do the best that you can. You are at the age of accountability. You know right from wrong. You know when you're doing something right, or you know when you do something wrong. So go ahead, focus on that. And that's what I got for today, y'all. Those are my final words. I just wanted to kind of take a smooth approach. I want to take a real easy approach to today, because mothers mean something, and a mother's love means something as well. So, all right, y'all, it's your boy, Jeff Relaford, on the Jeff Relaford Show. I do thank you all for listening. And remember, redirect, regroup, refocus. I love y'all. Peace out. Hey, what's up? It's your boy, Jeff Relaford, and I thank you for joining me on the Jeff Relaford Show. Because listen, you could have been doing anything else today, right? But you chose on your way home from work, or if you just at home chilling, to tune in to the Jeff Relaford Show. Now, real quick, I want to say this to you. Go ahead, tell your friends and family to download the online radio box app to your Android or your Apple device. So that way you can go ahead and listen to us on the go. And what you do is from there, you type in Biggs Radio Chicago. Okay? Biggs Radio Chicago. And also listen to our sister stations in Indianapolis, Indiana, Pasadena, California, Atlanta, Georgia. And once again, you are kicking it with Jeff Relaford on the Jeff Relaford Show.